Hey everyone, it's Alex coming at you from Southern California. This is going to be the 2022 experimental tag. This is not a genre tag, so don't even think about genre. This is really encompassing some of the sort of techniques and methods and characteristics of experimental music that have been around for 60 plus years, that are widely used by everything from punk bands, rock bands, prog bands, hip hop, and everything in between. Of course, some musicians dabble with these methods and techniques and incorporate them into their work. As they expand sort of their musical palette. Other musicians, bands, artists, dedicate their entire careers and lives really to some of these very specific types of techniques. So the first one is improvisation, and this is what we're listening to now. By the way, this is it's going to be very short. It's only 9 questions, so hopefully get some participation. So number 1 is show a record with improvisation. So this is a bootleg recording of a session called the Marijuana Summit between Terry Riley and Don Cherry, who you see there. This was like something I had to paste on because it came as an insert. This is from 1970. These two guys met in Sweden, smoked a bunch of weed, and decided to sort of improvise. It's them with some a flute player, tambourine player, and a little bit of bass and cello here and there, but yeah, mostly just kind of riffing. So number 1, show a record with improvisation. Question number 2, show a record with the Moog synthesizer. Obviously the Moog, when it was created by Bob Moog, it was a huge advancement. It allowed bands, especially when he created the Mini Moog, to be able to experiment on the road with something a lot more portable. So this is a great record by it's a self-titled Head. The artist is Nick Reykjavik, and yeah, this is fantastic. Sort of a cash-in record from the psychedelic drug movement. This is from 1970, and each of the tracks is named after a drug. There's the cannabis, sativa. There's a meth track, and then a LSD track. But yeah, fantastic, all Moog synthesizer stuff. Great record. Question number 3, show a record with a field recording, right? So field recordings have been widely used by all kinds of different artists. Whether it's nature, whether it's urban sounds, whether it's just could be conversations or baby noises, whatever it might be. This particular one is from a French guy, Jean Rocher, who was obsessed with recording birds. This particular record is from Venezuelan birds. Just a fantastic. This is all field recordings, obviously, but again, when you're showing your record, whatever song or whatever it might be that uses a field recorded element would be great. Number 4, show a record that uses a drone sound. So a drone is just a sustained chord or a note that is held for long periods of time, right? So it could be anything. Could be from a guitar, it could be from vocals. In this case, this is a record from 1994 by Portuguese artist Rafael Toral, and he uses his guitar to create these beautiful droning landscapes. Fantastic record, originally on CD only, 94, was reissued on Drag City. Been looking for his other ones too, they're all great. great guitar drone stuff from 1994. Number 5, I'll play it real quick. Show a record with a spoken word element. So what I'm playing now is this great record by Robert Ashley called Private Parts. It's from 1978 on the Lovely Music label out of New York. Yeah, pretty much just him reading sort of his spoken word poetry or essays with some backing tabla in the back, and a little bit of Moog on this one, and piano from Blue Jean Tierney. So great spoken word artist, Robert Ashley. So yeah, if you have any artists, any tracks, anything like that that have that spoken word element, that's that one. Number 6, should a record or track or album or anything with processed instrument, right? So anything where the instrument itself, or again, could be the human voice as the instrument, is being changed, it's being processed either through electronics, manipulation, tape, changes in speed, any of those techniques. There's a great record by, I think he's American, Ingram Marshall. This is from, I can't remember what year, I think 1984, and it's called Fog Tropes. And in this record, it's basically like it's a brass sextet that is just really sort of processed, I think, through speed delays and tape manipulations to create just these really sort of haunting and foggy sort of landscapes. Beautiful stuff. So yeah, so a record or a track with a processed or modified sound of an instrument. And of course we had to mention Nurse with Wound, them being one of the great experimental bands. So this one will be number 8. Will be show a record from an artist on the Nurse with Wound list. I'll post the Nurse with Wound list here in the here below. I mean, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of artists. Some of them very mainstream, some of them very obscure, and everything in between. I'm sure pretty much everybody watching this has many records by a lot of these artists. If you're not familiar, Nurse with Wound, the band out of the UK, they posted sort of a list of all of their influences, and it's really kind of become kind of a cult thing. Nico, she's on the list, one of the very few women on the list, coincidentally, but a great record. Desert Shore from 70, is it, I think? Nice UK pressing here. And then lastly, bonus question, and could be a little bit challenging, though I think it's more, it'll be easier than you think, possibly, if you can think about it. But the last bonus question here will be show a record or track that have a toy instrument. So it could be toy piano, toy flute, there's a number of different things. There's like toy xylophone. In fact, I don't know if this is actually played in this record, but that's an example. This is David Ventien. He's the record of Safety in Numbers from 1987, I believe. There he is there. This guy has an incredible resume. He played with everybody from Brian Eno, David Byrne to Philip Glass, just a fantastic percussionist. And yeah, this is a really interesting record. Again, he plays percussion on this, but there's production by Riichi Sakamoto. There's some playing from Richard Landry, which was another guy that was playing with Philip Glass and those guys at the time. And in here there is toy, something called a Jingle Ball Toy is what's played here. And so yeah, that's about it. Just 8 questions and a bonus. Hope some of you guys can join in the fun here. Hopefully it's not too difficult. Hope everybody is well. And yeah, look forward to seeing a few responses. Take care.